Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's going on? This is Area 31.
Yo.
We are back at it again. If you do not know, my name is Darnell Adams.
It's your boy Mark Griffin, partner.
And this is Area 31. We're all about that faith, that culture.
And that truth.
We call it Area 31 because we're always going to give you three main topics in one area. That's where you get Area 31. You know, hey, Mark Griffin.
Yo.
We got this dope interview right now.
I'm ready for it, man. I've been excited about it, man. I've been really excited about this interview. I know she got a lot of gems and nuggets to drop, man, so I'm really excited about it.
Hey, so, hey, if that's the case, hey, rocking with us today, too. Hey, let's get right into it.
Hey, this is Dina Marto from C&D The Agency, and I am rocking with Area 31. Check it out.
We always like to kick off and kind of ask people how their week's been. So I guess you can kick off and just, how's your week been so far?
It's been a busy week, per usual, just trying to unpack in my new house while I am doing my regular work. So in between Zoom calls and in between meetings and all the other things that I have to do. So I finally got my kitchen done. So I just said, let me give you this background. The week has been great.
It's dope.
I feel very grateful. Thank you. I feel very grateful, and I feel like I have a lot more room than I did before, so I'm happy to be here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think that's the dope. Of course, we faith-based and stuff like that, but I think that's the dope blessing. Just God is still blessing you in the spite of like a new crib and stuff with everything else still going on. So I think that's dope and a true blessing right there.
Yeah.
So for people that might not know, where are you from?
Well, I was actually born in the Middle East. I was born in Jordan. I'm Jordanian and Palestinian. And then I moved to Atlanta when I was 5, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, wow. So I
Yeah.
guess, how do you like Atlanta, the Atlanta culture and everything? And what causes you to stay in the ATL?
That's a great question. I have had the opportunity, of course, to go work and live in New York or LA, but I always like staying in Atlanta. I believe that Atlanta is what put me closer and like faster in the music business from the dream that I had being a young girl wanting to be in the music industry. And so Atlanta really has been my home and really raised me in this business. And so I don't think I would have gotten the same opportunities and been part of the same culture in another city. So I really think Atlanta has like a secret sauce that other cities don't have for creatives. And I love being here and being able to help build the foundation and the structure and the development of the industry here.
Can I put you on the spot? Do you think that ATL controls the culture?
Been controlling culture for like the last 20 years. And that's in everything, like fashion, what's cool lingo wise, dances, like just the
True.
sound of music. I think that we are pop culture in Atlanta.
So what's your favorite thing to do here in Atlanta?
To do. Oh, there's so many good things to do. I like to eat. I eat a lot, so I like to eat. I loved when we were, obviously COVID, I'm not out and about, but I loved going to the clubs and even the strip clubs and listening to music.
Oh, yeah, I've seen you on your timeline popping bottles, so. That's dope, though. So I guess, how'd you get into the industry?
I wanted to be a singer-songwriter, I guess, like everybody starts off in this business. And so I didn't have any relationships at all, no previous relationships. I didn't know anybody in the business. And so when I got to college, I just started really networking, building my relationships. And I did a couple internships here and there. I was 19. I started a PR firm while I was in college. I went to Oglethorpe University. And from that PR firm, I actually met L.A. Reid, who then handpicked and hired me to be on his team at Island Def Jam. And so I was on the A&R team there at Def Jam for 6 years. And I helped out with like Nas, LL Cool J, Young Jeezy, Rick Ross, Janet Jackson, and the list goes on. And then I left to build my own company. So I built a recording studio in Midtown Atlanta called 12 Studios, and I did artist development, talent management. So that's kind of like my music history. How did I get in, and how did I transgress from the major label to being independent and building my own environment?
Sweet.
I guess
That's
talk
dope.
about how difficult, or was it even difficult for you to make that transition coming from that major kind of backing, you could say, to a kind of your being individual? Was that how difficult, or was it difficult for you?
It was difficult just because, you're going from getting a biweekly check and a 401k and health benefits and all that kind of stuff to really eating what you kill. So it's being, you have to have that hustler, that entrepreneurship mentality. And but I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So being that I started my first business at 19, it was natural for me to want to
Wow.
move into, I really am big on ownership and on just kind of being your own boss. So I really, that's the route that I think I'm always going to take. Even if I kind of do something here and there, I always go back to wanting to be just the founder of my own dreams and ideas.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I guess what would you recommend to somebody like that wants to be that entrepreneur, but just still don't know how and all that good stuff? What's like something you might recommend to that person?
Well, number one is really understanding what it's going to take. Sometimes you're going to have to do two things at one time. You still might have your 9 to 5 or your regular job, and you're still building
Right.
your business on the side. And then once it gets up and running, you're able to kind of make that switch. I would say to make sure you have some money together, because it does take money to make money. And I think a lot of
Yeah,
people have this idea, or they don't really have the plan of how to actually make money. So you're going to need that. You're going to have a really strong vision and a plan that you can be flexible on, because things don't always happen at the time that you want it to happen or how you expect it to happen. So I think just having a strong vision, a good plan, and some money saved up to take the risk that you want to take is what I would recommend. And I would also recommend for those people to really do, like, not only like internships, but get mentors in the field that you want to be in, so that you can have somebody to ask questions to and have like feedback.
that's good. So would you say kind of you work with all these different artists? You talked about having somebody you can kind of talk to. Would you say you have a mentor, even kind of with all these different people that you work with? Would you say you still have a mentor, or you go to somebody?
So a lot of my mentors have been the men that I've worked with throughout the business, because I'm in a male dominated industry. They've usually never been women. That's the whole reason. And I don't know if you guys knew that I just launched a new agency called C&D the Agency, and it's an all women led agency. And the purpose of this agency is to be able to mentor the next generation of women leaders. We did this on purpose so that women can
That's
collaborate
dope.
together and we can give opportunity for minority women. So I saw that there was a void there, because in male dominated industries, you're usually looking up to who's higher up, and it's usually a man in those positions. And so I didn't have a lot of women leadership while I was coming up in the business. I think it's changed. I think it's a lot more women now. But yes, I've had mentors throughout my career, even just close friends, just accountability partners, people know me and keep me grounded. I obviously have a team of people that advise me and help me, but I just want to make that difference for the next generation of women, so that they have a woman to look up to and be able to have a mentor.
Right. So with that, kind of like you're playing the mentor role now, or and so I was looking through your website. So you have an artist development part of your group, right? So can you like speak to us about as far as what it's like to be able to develop up and coming artists and being able to help them out and mentor them along the way?
Yeah. So when I had the studio, I did a lot of artist development. Now I'm not, I'm doing more management. And with the agency, we help brands with marketing, branding, some PR support, project management, stuff like that. I'm eventually building out a arm. We just haven't done that yet, a talent management arm. So it's going to take time to build that team up. But I have signed and developed talent throughout my career, songwriters, producers, and artists. And so I really like working with people that I like to work with them kind of like at the beginning of their career and helping them to build. Of course, I've worked with established artists before as well, but I really enjoy the journey of taking something from like the potential of it and helping it grow.
It's beautiful.
I guess I like to ask, why is that though? I think because what I see now, a lot of people in the industry want that product that's already done, and they just want to
Yeah.
take it and run with it, and that's kind of where the industry is now. But why is it that you like to kind of roll with people from like day one and kind of grow with them?
I think I'm a builder and I love that process and that journey. I think it's a lot more rewarding at the end of the day when you get to the finish line and you guys have started from the ground zero with each other. And so I think that also it's like my pick and talent. I'm not into like the trendy things. A lot of A&Rs or music executives are just looking for what's hot at the very moment. And I'm looking more towards like long-term careers. I want to be able to scale
That's
that
dope.
brand and that business.
That's dope. I, I think
Yeah.
I think it says the type of character you have just in the industry, because everybody doesn't want to deal with that day one. Going to you could say the last day. So I think that's real dope. And
I'm
needed
not
for
looking.
people like you. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Can we go back? You said a lot of women. A lot of women. It's a male dominated industry.
For sure.
Let me ask you, what about kind of being a minority in the industry? How was that aspect of it?
And before I answer that, I want to piggyback on the last thing. I'm not here for a quick dollar. If I was here for a quick dollar, I wouldn't be doing the entertainment business. I wouldn't be doing music business. It takes a long time to really make money in this business. So I'm not here for that. I'm here to build like real careers. So that's my opinion on that. Being a minority, yeah, I think that obviously as an Arab woman, you're not gonna. There's not a lot of us in the music industry in America, but not only that, being directly in hip hop. I'm not just in the music business, I'm in hip hop. And so it's a rarity in there as well. But yeah, I think that it's interesting. I think that obviously it's been a bit and sometimes may go against me depending on what the situation is, because I have that kind of like that universal face, so I can kind of walk into any room and be at a corporate setting, but also go be wherever I need to be. If it's in the streets doing something else, like I kind of fit all those worlds.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. So
What's one of your next I guess adventures, or what's something that you want to take care of or tackle next in your journey, whether it's musical or just anything dealing with entrepreneurship.
That's a good question. Right now, my focus is really building this agency, and I want to build it to a point where obviously I can scale it if I want to. I can continue to grow it, maybe get it in different cities. But I'm really focused on building a really strong multicultural agency filled with women that are really strong, and we are just known for building brands and helping enhance brands. So like that's what I'm going for right now. I know it's going to take a second, but that's my main goal.
let me ask you. I know you're talking about the agency, and you want to kind of bring all the women kind of involved in the agency. Can you be a artist or somebody or someone that curates a part of your agency that happens to be a male, or is it one of those things that's strictly everything from the bottom to the top is strictly women?
So our team is women. We have a lot of male clients, obviously. So we work with men all the time, but we just wanted to make it to where the team was actually all female led team. And we're doing that on purpose. That is the like, so to say that we'll never work with men, I can't say that, but I know right now we men on the team right now, our whole purpose is to build all women team.
That's dope.
That's the
That's
focus.
dope, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's needed. It's needed. I think that's so dope. What you're doing is definitely dope. Can I ask you this question? I guess you being a part of the industry, have you ever made a first bad deal? You know, for maybe one of your clients or anything like that. Have you ever made a bad deal? Yeah.
I've definitely made a bad deal for myself. I know that much. Yes, yes, I have, and it's trial and error, and you have to learn. With when you're just learning, you know. I think for my clients, hopefully, I haven't done any like really bad deals, but for myself, I know that I've gone, I've gone into some like not so great partnerships that I had to get myself out of. I had to buy myself out of. So it's costly.
No, I'm with you.
So growing up, you did said you got into kind of like the music side of it as far as like writing and things. So who were some of your inspirations like growing up as far as like artists, whether it was singers, rappers, who kind of inspired you to get started?
I always like so I've loved all types of music and I loved hip hop from the very beginning. But I was when I wanted to be a singer songwriter, I was listening to like Paula Abdul,
Mm.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Like that was my vibe. Madonna, like all of those people were like, oh yeah, I want to do that.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Do you still have that inspiring dream to kind of sing and songwrite at all, or
I
you kind of gave that up?
I gave that up. That's like dead. That's nowhere to be found. But I will do a good karaoke. You know, you will catch me on karaoke. But no,
Okay.
All right.
transition from when I went from the creative side to the business side. The business side was moving so fast for me that I never went back to the creative side. And with and I actually, you know, use creativity as a business person, but and I understand structuring songs and all that has helped me, but I just never went back to actually focusing on doing that. That's a craft that you have to do really every day to be good at it or to be great at it.
No, that's key. I think that is very key. Just
Yeah.
to kind of focus your energy in one area. I think when you move and try to do too much, that's when it can kind of cause so much going on. But I think that's key. You
Yeah,
know, so
jack kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. You know, so I think it's pretty dope that you take your attention, you focus in one area. So kind of piggybacking off of that, what is something else that you would tell an aspiring artist that wants to get into the music industry, or even take up something that you're doing as far as helping artists and managing artists? Like, what would you say to them? I think that's a good starting point as far as like focusing and everything, and just paying your attention to like one thing and growing and increasing in that area. But what is something else that you would tell an aspiring artist?
And that's a good point because when you're focused on something and I just want to go back to that point. When you're focused on something and it's going well, the doors, the universe automatically opens those doors for you. So it seems like you're on an easier path when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So oftentimes we think we're supposed to be doing one thing and it reroutes us. So I'm still in the music business. That was my dream. I'm just not a singer or songwriter, right? But I'm
mm,
doing the other jobs that you have. So I want people to know like it's not just the people that are on TV, the people that you see. There's a whole team of people that get that person to be the brand and the star that they are. And so there's all these other jobs that you can do. But as far as focusing, as far as like advice to upcoming artist or manager, like again, really do this for the love of it, not for the trend, or not because it's feeding your ego, not because you just really have to, because it's a long road and it's not an overnight success, as we said before, and it takes a lot of hard work. I think that your talent is part of it, but the work ethic and your being business minded is like the majority of it. And because there's so many really talented people out there that can't get their business together, right? And as managers are
mm,
concerned, just know it's literally like adult babysitting, right? You're in that person. It's you're the commodity is an
mm.
actual human. So there's going to be days where they're going to be moody, they're not going to feel like doing press, they're not going to want to do this, they're not going to want to do that, and that is your product. So you have to work with them on the personal level and on a business level every day.
Wow.
What I hear from there is in this industry, you can't take too much things personal. Then, huh?
No.
So they're gonna have moody days and be on one. So you can't take stuff so personal, huh?
Yeah, you really have to have tough skin to work with that's with talent really, and just this business, because it is a like, you just got to have tough skin in this business. Things change
So you
rapidly.
you talked about your businesses and kind of your agency. Has it been tested at all with just this whole pandemic virus that kind of shut everything down? How has that kind of impacted you and tested you right now?
So the interesting part about it is that the agency was birthed from the quarantine and the pandemic. So my business partner Courtney and I have been friends for many years, and we've always wanted to do something together. And so when we had a moment to just sit still, because I was literally on the road for the last 3 years with Ti, so anywhere he would go, I would travel with him. We'd be on productions, we'd be doing all these different things. And so basically I was on the go all the time, so I never had a chance to just sit and just be in one place. I was at least traveling twice a week, always one time a week to LA. And that's a lot of traveling to do, right? So you're not sitting in one
Yeah,
place.
it is.
So when we finally sat down and we had a chance to like focus in, we were like, what do we really want to do? And this is what really will make Courtney and I happy, is to be able to give back to the next generation of women and build those leaders. I really believe that true leaders create and build other leaders.
You
Would you
talk
say?
about kind of building an artist from like I guess you could say ground zero. How often do you see an artist because of the climate that we're in that just want to be there right away, like in that spotlight, like right away, instead of putting like that groundwork from day zero? You know, how often do you see
Every,
that?
every single artist is like that. Every single artist. And you know what's so funny about artists too? You do all this work and you build all this stuff, and then when they reach that top, they like literally have amnesia and think that they did it all by themselves. It's pretty interesting how that goes.
Wow.
Not everybody, but a lot of people. I think that, most people want to get there very quickly, but if you look at some of our biggest stars, it takes years, sometimes 10 years before they actually pop and really make it big.
Wow. I guess you being in the management position, how often have you seen artists like I'm giving up, I'm quitting, and stuff like that because of that long
And
kind
that
of
pressure.
yeah, that pressure to kind of break. Have you seen that at all or?
Yeah, people, I mean, it's a roller coaster ride. So yes, you when they're especially when they're super talented, you hate to see them just give up so easily or just not apply themselves to their full potential. So I see a lot of that. Sometimes people are just naturally talented and then they don't want to actually put in the other part of it to be great. And Beyonce's a perfect example of somebody that you would want to just follow as far as like her work ethic. I'm not saying her style or anything like that, but just her work ethic in the sense of like how hard she goes with her stage presence and her choreography and vocal lessons and doing routines over and over again. And we watched that whole documentary on her doing like a 2 hour show and what that took to get in it. And there's artists now that don't even want to practice for like a show at a club. And so it's like, just because,
No, that's true and real.
everybody needs that. Everybody needs that development. You're rarely just born with it, and if you are, you still need to fine tune it. So everybody can improve. I think everybody needs to have, when you're an artist, be able to perform well. You need to have stage presence, choreography. And when I say choreography, I don't mean dancing. I just mean, how do you hold the mic? How do you interact with your audience? Where do you move on the stage? What do you do? What do you do when this break happens? What are you saying here? Like, it's practicing, and it's rehearsal, and it's being able to exercise and sing and run at the same time. All of those things, they're all important.
No, no, you're right. You're totally right. You know, what are you doing behind the scenes, and when nobody's watching, when nobody's looking, and you know what? Not even just in the entertainment aspect, just with people with just business overall. Like, what are you doing behind the scenes to make sure you have your own business, and just behind the scenes to make sure your own brand, your own business, you know, your own entertainment stuff is rocking when nobody's watching. So I think that's dope, and just that's good nuggets right there for people, you know. So Marcus, what you got, man?
What's the, I guess, like, for some people that may want to know, what was before COVID anyway, what's the traveling experience like from city to city? Because I know certain things change, I guess, like when you get from one town to the next. So like from a manager's point of view, because I think a lot of times we get like the artist's point of view. Sometimes they get tired. You got to be on set at a certain time. You got to be changed at a certain time, eat at a certain time, sleep at a certain time. So what's the experience like as far as like traveling for a manager and making sure everything is lined up from city to city?
Whew, it's a lot. So you sometimes you might go, like, when you land somewhere, you might have to hit the ground running, so you don't have time to change or eat or do anything. You have to go to wherever your first appointment is. So usually, I know when we would go to LA or New York, it would be just constant, one thing after another, so you might not eat for the first time till like the end of your day. Um, so so you're just on the move, and like sometimes you're just eating on the go. And you're for me, I have to be places before the client, before the talent gets there, to make sure everything is set up properly. So you're kind of there a little earlier, and sometimes staying there a little later to make sure everything wraps up properly as well.
Well, that's
Wow.
that's key and important. I guess that's why management and who you choose is just definitely dope and important. So yeah, you made a good point right there. So
Yeah, and
absolutely. So, of
yeah.
course, our show's called Area 31 because we focus on faith, culture, and truth. You kind of touch on the faith, the culture aspect, but when you hear the word faith, I guess what comes to your mind?
Faith is your belief, whatever that may be. It's whatever you trust in, whatever higher power that you have. So for me, faith is constantly, and I wouldn't say tested, it's constantly displayed every day in small things. So when you're looking at your direction and how things are unfolding in your life, you're getting those little signs, like I was talking about, along the way, you are where the universe that's working in your favor is showing you where to go and that you're on the right path, or showing you opposite, like, okay, like your gut is telling you this is not right. So all of those things kind of work together to me. No matter what you believe in, it's not about religion, it's about just your belief system in something greater than yourself.
That's real. That's real. So many people put it too heavy on the religion. So I'm with you on that. I guess you tackled the faith, you tackled the culture. In our last one, we always say faith, culture, and truth. When you hear truth, I guess what comes to your mind on that?
I hear truth. The truth is being your authentic self. It's showing up every day doing what's right, and it's showing up every day being true to what you believe and who you are. So I think that again, I think the truth changes for different people and what it is, but I know, like, to me, your what's like right and wrong is pretty right and wrong. Like, that's what it is. It's like kind of black and white when it comes to that.
No, that's
and
real.
and
That's
mind
real.
you, and I was raised Catholic, and I'm Christian, and I believe in God, but I also believe that that faith is, well, that I just think everybody's interconnected, and it's about love, and we're all kind of like each other's brothers and sisters and keepers. So no matter whether you're, Jewish or Muslim or any other religion, it's still that nothing changes how you should be treating the other person, or um how we should be treating each other in humanity, to be honest with you.
That's true. That's true. So I guess would you say that is what's going to really kind of
Changes stuff, man.
help America right now is
Yeah,
loving people regardless of
yeah, most
kind of
definitely.
what they believe and stuff like that? Would you say, or it's not going to change it, but it's going to help a little bit, So
Yeah, I think that you can make a difference every day, a small difference every day. It's like, you obviously, one person cannot change the entire world, but you can change what's happening in your day, and you can be kind to other people, be loving to other people, and that's a domino effect to them. That changes their perspective of the day, or how they're handling their day, and that might give them the energy to do that to the next person, and then it kind of is a domino effect. So it's really based on, like, how do you go about your day. And so, like I was saying before, I'm really big on gratitude, and really just acknowledging the blessings in my life every day, even the very small ones, because I think people are looking for, and even in faith, they want this big, like I don't know, like a big crash, like a big, like thing, like a big boom, like this is what it is, like a big sign. And sometimes it's not that, it's small little things that you have to pay attention to.
oh, that's dope. That's dope. I know we definitely want to be right by your time. We said we're gonna keep you to 4 o'clock, and that's what we're gonna do. But I saw on your website you got like these minute kind of moments of inspiration
Yeah.
and things like that. And so many people that went through in 2020 still might be going through and now. Can you just be that person? Because we like to close our show with kind of a moment of inspiration. So can you, whatever kind of might be on your heart, your mind, and just give somebody a word of inspiration real quick?
Yeah, sure. We are in really hard times, and I'm very blessed to be healthy and happy. And I know this pandemic is affecting people in so many different ways. My word of inspiration right now would be, whenever you're faced with a challenge, just to be able to see past it to the opportunity, because there's always an opportunity in whatever is happening, even though it might look like the worst thing ever at the time. There's going to be a gem on the other side of it. There's going to be something that you're going to really learn. And that's when we really get tested the most, is when we're down, not when we're up. That's when our character and our spirit gets tested, and
True.
that's how you grow and grow out of your comfort zone. So just know that you can come out on the other side of this, and you will be a better person for it.
That's dope. We appreciate that. Anything else, Mark Griffin?
Awesome. I just wanted to make the comment with what you're doing. I believe that you are doing playing a huge part in just making a change out here in the world. Just like a lot of people, when we talk about faith, that's it. Like people talk about faith, but actually living it out and living that truth out. Like we definitely appreciate someone like you being able to help artists, help people just in general, like putting faith into action, putting truth into action. So you're definitely doing your part to help change and make change, create change. And we thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show and be able to chat with us.
Now,
Yeah.
real quick, if somebody was interested in your artist development, how can they get in contact?
So you can email 12 Music Group at Gmail. It's TWELVE Music Group at gmail.com. And then, of course, I have my website, dinamarto.com. And then follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Marto, MISSMARTO. And I'm not doing the artist development side right now, but maybe I will go back into it. Right now, just focusing on the services we have for the agency. And also, I'm obviously still on Ti's management team, and on his internal team, and working with him closely, building up the agency, and just doing what I do. So yeah, reach out.
That's
And
dope.
and even if you're a woman that has a great skill set in any of the services that we have, please send us a resume or email. We're always looking for talent. So yeah, I'm happy to connect.
That's dope.
All right. We appreciate you rocking with us.